Don't clap. You don't know. I recognize none of you from high school, so you don't know this shit's gonna be good.
That's not
That's true.
I've seen you before, I know it's going to be alright.
Oh, I feel for you. I'm hopeful. I do improv poetry, so I don't really know what's going to happen. I've been writing papers all day, so I'm very amused to see what happens. I don't know. Is it better to die in front of a room full of people, or a room full of fewer people? If you die in front of a room full of people, then the story they tell is usually all about themselves, and it doesn't last very long as like they can draw something for it, they tell the story. But if you die in front of a room of a small group of people, well, you've really fucked up some people's lives, and then like the only people they can turn to is each other. And I know we are long past the days of constructed social myths, but let's pretend we're not. I could become famous if I were to die right here, and you guys have friends you talk to on the phone. But we have Facebook now, so I could die right here, and you could talk about it for weeks, and no one would ever notice. I think that's been the first poem. You're welcome. Now I want to take my shoes off, and my feet are sweaty, and I blame Maddie Godfrey, who's now coming in late, waving one wet hand.
Please, now I control my hands. Stop pulling it out.
That's cool. I interrupted your set a bit, so I was hoping that I could give you equal time, so this is my apology.
Did I miss anything?
No, not really. I haven't really started.
Is it better to fail in a room full of people or a small room of people? I heard I was being a
That myth, right? Now, if I had died, Maddie's little encapsulation later on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter would be, I heard the lines he was saying, and they were moving, and blah, blah. Okay, Paul. Okay. Stop talking. Talk in a different way. So I'm not going to do an improv poem to start with. I'm going to do a poem I read at the Starlight Children's Charity, because there's an awkward pause at the beginning of it, and I want to see if I can read it and always have that awkward pause. As you know, Starlight Children's Charity is for terminally ill children, and trying to get them, wish your help. You can see how poets read briefs before they perform. Cool, I get to read. Here we go. All right. Some of us fell out of vaginas, others of us were pushed. Still others came out cesarean, some yellow, Billy Rubin count low, having to be shoved under bright red lights. Bring that skin back to life, cool that brain. Nervous system strains, the brain rewiring itself even in the nature, but that wasn't true. I was weird before the paper bag had fully formed, before the organs were anything. It was somewhere in the spirit, that strange tickle, that itch. Him, he was blue, no more purple. You could see the cells dying on the edges of his fingertips and tips of his nose, the edges of his ears, and in the corner of his eyes. It hadn't been so much rewired as it had been strangled, these precious nature souls. See, mine was dyslexia. I can't spell. I can only read the shape of words. It's funny writing papers today, the way they swim, the way you fight against the current. Him, he had seizures, and a kind of way that said that this boy will never be a man, this boy will never even be a teenage man, this boy will always be a boy. He was my first friend in school, the new school for the special kids. Some drooled, some wore wheelchairs, but as the year got on, they would peel off. We'd be more normal sounding normal, but he would never be there. We were 7 or 8, 8 or 9, 9 or 10. It was the second sleepover I'd ever been at. His parents had a nice house. I thought, no one told me, I thought to myself, they think, hey, this black boy goes to this private school, so we'll have him stay over at his house. We don't know how his family goes. That was an assumption I made at 10, but I watched too much TV, and it told us things that were untrue. I sat in the rooms with him, and he touched my curly hair, and he's like, ooh, your hair, and I touched his hair, ooh, your hair. You know the story that says that, you had some kind of middle-class, diverse background where you tell these stories and you're not in college. Ooh, your hair is springy and brown. Your hair is strangely yellow and does not curl. Genetic variation. We had times like that. I think I kind of went over there because I was really up for his sister, who was like 3 years older. She had developments that girls didn't have when we were trying to develop. And this video game that was not that interesting, but he was company. we separated in time. He had moved to another class, and I came to understand that the kids that were invited to stay on sleepovers were the kids that were the new class, and this was a way of helping him make friends. I'm 16 now. I'm not a bad motherfucker. I like this thing called hip-hop, but this thing called rap has come on, and everybody who used to be soft riding bikes and swinging same dudes is now wearing heavy-weighted jeans and Timberland boots, and everybody's a motherfucker. So I'm a bit confused. I can't tell you what happened to him. He kind of floated by. He's still wearing the little boy t-shirts and those shorts. You know, college women, they wear them now. They have the little white lines that run around like that. And you think, ooh, she's hot. But once long ago, little boys wore those shorts. And he still wears those shorts, and we are 16. It floats on. I'm in college, and this is a good year. This is some year after freshman. I got a girlfriend and don't have a girlfriend. I have access to alcohol. I'm reading poetry somewhere in a bar. And school's floating easy, and I feel happiness like manhood, strong. This will be the second visit to the graveyard of the past. I'll go to the old school, I'll see the friends that live within the neighborhoods, I will see the man that I was, and the birthing of the thing that I am, and lie somewhere healthy, but also arrogant in this new form. You know, you see the teacher that you loved, and you say, thank you for your life and all your pride, look at how I've become. So we wander from the school, we go to the Safeway, because the Safeway is where he used to bag groceries. That's where he saw him the last time that we spoke, the last time that we were together, the last time that I heard his mother say, well, we've kind of accepted he's going to be with us all his life. And I can't remember what I said, but it was something smart-ass and true, and he looked at me in that way that said, you are still my friend. And even before we stopped being in the same places at the same time, I stopped talking to him. I stopped seeing him, I stopped knowing him. But for some reason I came back to see the distance that I had traveled, and this was the friend that I came to see. The house is still there, that huge side irregular dawn going up a hill, where, funny enough, they used to have Easter egg hunts, which I thought was hilarious because I had interesting ideas about the nature and the machinations of religion and philosophy, things I could not discuss with him, but we had to run around for chocolate eggs, and that was cool enough. His mom opens the door, her arms wrap around me, and there's a cool coldness somewhere in funeral morn, and I do not smell the smell of a teenage boy in their house. It is quiet and it's still. There are whole mechanisms that have turned to glass, like glass turning to dust and blowing away. Mine would leave me angry, sometimes short-tempered, fast-speaking, hard to get out the ideas in any other way than speaking. His hit him with blinding seizures, leaving you come drunk and confused in the morning, shitting and pissing yourself. You can see how the times that we drift away. One night before sleeping, had a headache, and that's what took him. Isn't it funny? You can write a poem that starts with falling out of a vagina and leave a room in silence. Wow, it was that bad. All right, yeah. The brief is the role of the artist. No, I remember. I checked Facebook before I got here. So, enough all. I'm just killing time because I don't know anything. Can I sit down and be a moody teenager for this one?
Yeah.
Cool. Like if you guys don't talk, I think that you don't like me, and then that makes me like increase the amount of like the imagination goes up like this, and the storylines and the verbs and the words. It's so brilliant, but it's all in my head and it's all really freaking out. And you don't want to hear that come out, so I'm gonna.
You can sit there.
Okay.
Free.
This was a bad idea. No, this is not. This does not look like it looked in your head. Lower it. There you go. Hello. Hello. That's cool. Go on.
He was asking what the smoke at the back was for, and now we know it's to sit down.
No, it's cultured. Come on, people. It's cultured.
Culture.
You know what? Thank you.
I'm not even from this country. What the fuck is wrong with you, millennial piece?
Why do you
I was on the right track, but I just
Did someone say, why do you need coal? Because we didn't have fracking in those days. You couldn't just turn on the tap and go, boom, look at that. Side note, interesting.
The best idea we had was the beer barrels.
Yeah,
I thought it'd
well,
be too much fermented for beer barrels, but coal would work.
Well, I like to return to the set because like we had a perfect return to the set moment. I like
I was just saying how bad our idea was.
So we left off on a really good line. It's before we had fracking, because now you turn your water on and set it on fire. And then I was going to drift into being old. So, like I was born in the 70s and raised in the 80s. The best time for cartoons where they programmed children on Saturday mornings so that your parents didn't have to look after you. And it was like a kind of survival of the fittest kind of thing, because if you couldn't make breakfast by 12, then you were underweight by the time you were 15, because they are sleeping, sometimes sleeping very loud and angry. Is mom hurting dad? Is mom? But there was Thundar the Barbarian, and in Thundar the Barbarian it's a dystopian kind of future. It's not very important, people are getting quiet. And Thundar the Barbarian is a dystopian kind of future. For some reason, like a comet goes by the Earth and like pulls off the atmosphere, but people survive. But in the opening credits, they have like rivers and lakes that you can see, where the water can be set. Well, the water's on fire, and I just keep thinking about environmental causes, and that's just going to be hilarious. Like, no, it will be, because like I'll be old enough, and probably with some disease from the alcohol, the cigarettes, and really lucky. Condoms seem to keep you from getting diseases, but you never know. I'll be like at the end of my life, right when the world becomes like Japanese animation proper. And with the dementia, that'll be really fun for me. We're not going to call that a poem. Here we go. Spoken word poetry about society is like talk therapy. It's all bullshit. It can go on for years before anybody realizes the point is doing something. I can't do nothing but arrive late and talk about things that are going on in my confused and fuzzy head. So I bless you with this. I guess it's the secret thing of the poet is that it is easy always to describe the pain and the broken downness of the world, but not have to do anything about it. And if you're lucky, someone else puts you on the stage where your words can inspire hands. But now we live in this junky place. We always lived in this junky place. I want to say this new world, but there ain't nothing really new about it. I can't look you in the eye because it's therapy, and if I look you in the eye, you might see the honesty, you might see the brokenness, you might see the lack of hope. But I want you to believe, and it's an easy thing for a poet to want you to believe. It's best if you put it in the lines. I want you to believe in yourself. I want everyone to hold hands. I want people to stomp feet. I want people to hum. I want you to close your eyes and envision. I don't want you to do any of that. I want you to be awake. I don't even want the calling in my voice to have any matter. I want it to be rougher than even. I want it to be a nagging reminder of what you're not doing. I don't want you at peace or in thought. See, I just need some quiet places to speak, but I can't do that no more because the streets are in a strange kind of fire. Not flame, acid, different kind of smoke. All of you are being degraded. All of you are being melted away. I don't mind much because I'm not really a belonger. I'm more of affiliated, and with no affiliations, I could be free to wander through the world hearing the echoes of my own voice in your silent graveyards of the mind. All of you are being taken. It ain't nothing special to get up on a Tuesday and stand behind the mic. It is something special not to arrive. It is something more special not to go. It is something special today to stay. And even more amazing to stand. Too many people are longing not to crawl, to be naked, to be bruised, to be beaten, to be forgotten, to be burnt and buried with no name. How do you think you got here? Who do you think built this future? Those cartoons you watch on TV. Do you think your pretty hair, your pretty ideas, your pretty dreams, your pretty gods, your pretty beliefs bring anything to the world? Brings nothing but spit and shit and suffering. It's the things you leave your fingerprints on. It's the people you leave your bruises within. I don't know, it's easy to be a talker. You can make the not-doers feel guilty and feel like you've done something. It's like an ant running hard to shake the world, and the quiver in its own heart it thinks is meaningless.